embodiment of Eartha Kitt.
I could see that. I could
Oh
see
yeah.
her being that.
Oh yeah. Trust me. Dealing with her is I'm gonna get slaughtered. That's why she's my love interest.
Wait, what?
Anyway, point being,
Was I? Apparently I should talk louder. I don't need to whisper, Vic says.
actually, you're quite loud if you ask me.
They just told me I was loud, you dick.
Oh no, she's not. You're not loud. I mean, you're like right at the average, a normal volume right now.
No, I'm just talking about her voice in general. She's whispering a little bit, and I'm just saying she doesn't have to.
Oh, I get you.
I don't know. I don't know
if
she's consciously doing that because she thinks she's loud. She doesn't have to do it.
I get you. I get what you're saying. I hear that too. Yeah, but no.
But wait, go back to what did you say about your dad before?
I was saying he was the kind of guy who could be out of shape and get up and go run fucking 6 miles.
That always pissed me off.
And just it'll be one of those things like you ran from our house to where,
right?
And you ran back
with no training.
The car was like no, just get up and come back in a pool with soaked in sweat, and that was just the way he was able to operate. But point being, the reason I brought that up is, I mean, I got taught that, or I got I got told about that pushing yourself past the pain kind of thing, by my the male family members that I had, because that's just the kind of men that were in my family. And also I was I don't know what drew me to it, but just I've always had a lot of respect for people in the military, and I will never forget. And it's funny, I remember what he said, but I wish I could like write the guy a letter or something, or I wish I knew what video or documentary or whatever I watched. But there was this one guy. I don't know if he was in the Army, I don't know if he was a Marine. I don't know what he was, but he was going through the training process. And at one point, he's doing something that's really hard, and the cameraman talks to him for a sec, or the cameraman, puts the camera on him, and he says, "You never know, you'll never know, or you would never know what you're truly capable of. Like you think you're done, but you have so much more in the tank." And at the time that I watched that, I didn't really understand it. I was like, okay, I like understood the words, but I didn't kind of understand the meaning behind it. And I mean, who's to say I'd even understand the meaning behind it today? But I know I understand it a little bit better than I did, when I first heard it. But David Goggins is like the embodiment of, you have more in the tank, that you have more to give. You're not tired. You're not really done. Pushing yourself past that pain, pushing yourself past that pain threshold. That's something you can do. That is a real thing. There is a real limiter in your mind that limits you from.
This is actually a true story, because I was walking in Indiana one summer at a track, and there was a skunk outside the track, and I see it. It's like, oh fuck, man. Next time I go around, I've had it. I've given what I believe is my all, and I stop running and I start walking at that point, and then I see the skunk again, and it's inside the track, and it takes out after me. And honestly, that point where you're done running, where it's like I have nothing left. I fucking sprinted across there, yelling, and I was sure I had nothing left. So,
yeah, just that mindset of you have more in the tank. Don't stop. Don't give up. You can keep going. And I really like through his book. Because of his book, I started running more and getting more into running and jogging and whatnot. And man, there's some like we talked about on that last podcast where I was like, man, I ran outside and I felt this sensation that I only thought you got when you ate spicy food,
Mm-hmm.
or not even spicy food, but something that was so insanely spicy that you don't even really see it in natural nature for the most part. You know, just those feelings and the way your mind changes, man. Running is like meditation or something, dude. It's just so crazy how it's I can't even explain it. Just the feeling of going out there running, going fuck. I feel like I'm gonna give up in the next fucking 2 or 3 steps,
Mm-hmm.
and you keep going. I feel like I'm gonna give up in the next 3 steps, and you just keep going 3 more steps, and then you just keep going 3 more steps, and you go, okay, I'm gonna do 3 more. I'm gonna do 3 more. Okay, I just did 3 more. I'm gonna do 2 more. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 more after that. I'm gonna do 2 more. I'm gonna keep going. You keep pushing yourself past that pain threshold, and I don't know what it is. It's like your body's like you just hit this tempo or this mode where that pain doesn't matter, and you just push yourself through it, and it's a wonderful feeling, man. It's great, and of course for damn sure not a David Goggins, but just some of the shit in this book just it gives you real motivation that that you can push yourself further. Uh, for instance, or do y'all all float in water?
Yeah.
What,
I
what about?
guess
Oh,
I don't drown.
but do you float though? Like, are you buoyant?
Yes,
You
because
are.
I'm chubby.
Yo. So
Mm-hmm.
all y'all float.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh, I don't
Nah,
float.
my negative events don't help me. I am negative buoyancy all the fucking way.
So
Are
you're
you
negative buoyant. I'm also negative buoyant because of my bone density.
real?
Uh,
I sink to
so
the
I don't.
bottom of the fucking pool. I
Yeah,
gotta struggle
I
for
sink to the
my
bottom too.
float. I
And
gotta struggle for my float.
and David Goggins is negative buoyant, and he's a fucking Navy SEAL, and they have to do some
Yeah.
pretty fucking extreme water training where they basically drown your
Yeah.
ass. you know, but just to know how it feels to be negative buoyant and to hear the shit that he's done in the water is fucking insane because when you're maybe for most people, being in a large body of water is like, a fun time. But for me, that's death because
Really?
I don't float until after I'm dead.
I love being in the water and floating. It feels so great.
It's just this guy is, he is a strong motherfucker, and he's not talking shit.
Right.
That's the thing. It's not this guy going, "Hey, I'm a badass. Look at me." It's a guy going, "Hey, look at my story. Look at where I came from. Look at what I had to go
Mm-hmm.
through, and look what I was still able to accomplish despite the fact."
Mm-hmm.
And it's one thing he says in this book a number of times is this book isn't about me. He says it's not about him. It's about you. It's about your journey. It's about you becoming a hero. It's about you becoming the best you. You know.
So
It's,
All
you're
right.
reading
it's
inspiring books and trying to be a better human is just what you're trying to say?
But see, I don't want to call it an inspiring book because most of the time when I read some inspiring shit, it's some bullshit. It's some happy-go-lucky bullshit, or it's
Mm.
some shit that's like, just work hard, and everything's gonna be okay. And David Goggins isn't that type of dude that's like, work hard and it's gonna be okay. It's like more of like a work hard and maybe you will have the chance to make everything okay, and if not, you just keep working
I
hard.
I noticed you have
Keep
I
working.
noticed you have the big
You
boy
know,
the big voice on again.
big voice. What you mean?
The big voice. This is you're not doing it on purpose?
What you mean? Doing what?
The am I the only one that notices
Notices
that
what?
that
No,
Vontae?
I just didn't want to ruin the rhythm.
Oh, my bad. I meant to say it earlier.
Big
Like,
voices in what?
why are you using the big voice on me?
Your voice is all deep and shit again.
Yeah.
Oh, from the the computer shit.
Yeah,
Yes.
it happened before, and then we all got on and said the same thing, and I guess me and Darius just rolled with it this time.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sitting here
He
going,
said that from.
does anyone
Yeah,
else
He
heard
said
that's
that at the
exactly what
beginning.
happened.
She's
Yeah,
using
okay.
the big voice.
I didn't know it was still doing that. I restarted my computer and everything. I thought it went away.
I thought you were doing it on purpose. I thought it was
No,
like,
that's not
it's
me.
not
That's some kind of
bad
software
voice.
issue.
Oh.
Yeah, that's some software or hardware issue. Yeah, that's not me at all.
I thought it was like an app you had to make it, it's the big voice.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I didn't realize that at all. That's still going that way. Nah, but yeah, I mean that's David Goggins in a nutshell. I strongly recommend you guys check out his audiobook. It's really not only is it a inspire. See, I hate to call
It's
it.
okay, call
not
it that.
only is it is inspiring. It is. It actually it truly is. But I hate to dumb down his story to like, oh, it's just one of them inspiring Hallmark stories. It's so much more than that. So much more powerful. But yeah, it's just to hear that story of what somebody could go through and still succeed at the level that he has. You know, he's had his failures along the way in the middle of some of those successes, and he talks about that as well. You know, he's not sugarcoating shit. He's not a bullshitter. He's not telling you some shit to make him sound like a badass.
Who is he? Is he someone I should know and I don't?
Huh?
Is he someone I should know and I don't?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I mean,
okay.
for
My bad.
everybody. I think he's a guy everybody should
But like,
know
does everyone
his
know who he
story.
is except me?
Oh, you mean like in terms of his popularity or his
Yeah. Am I the only
spotlight?
person that doesn't know who you're talking about?
No. It's a. I mean, he's a pretty popular guy, pretty well known, but I don't. He's not a really out there kind of guy. He's an introverted guy.
Oh.
He's not out there.
He's
to
not
be
an
in the
actor or a
spotlight,
model, someone I should
No, he's a Navy
know.
SEAL.
Just that.
He's a
Not
Navy
okay.
SEAL.
Okay.
Well, Navy SEAL, Army Ranger, fucking ultra marathon runner.
Oh, okay.
The type of I didn't know this until I like listened to his book, but apparently there's motherfuckers who run like 100 miles in a 24-hour period, and he is one of them. Like that kind of shit. Like I ran an hour a day or two ago,
Mm-hmm.
and
You a
of
little
course,
bitch.
fuck you. But no, I ran an hour a day or two ago, and I've ran an hour. I've did that for a while now. Run a solid hour in a row. But I would have never thought I could have did that. Like before I found this book, dude. I don't think I would have thought that was in the realm of possibility for me to, and not running, not a full on sprint, but jogging. You know, it was like I didn't jog that far. It was 4 miles, and normally that would be pretty slow for 4 miles. But this is some kind of this is not kind of this is some really hilly terrain. It's really fucking weird terrain. Like if I was running on flat land, then I would probably have maybe like a 7-minute mile or an 8-minute mile or some pretty decent. But you know, I'm also not the most in shape guy. But just the fact that I can jog an hour, you know, in a row, I would have never thought that was a fucking possibility. I was the kind of guy who was pretty skinny, but if I ran across the street, I'd be fucking tired. Be fucking tired as shit. Like, holy shit, you know? Just
I used to run all the time. I loved it. So what is this called?
Oh, his book?
Yeah.
It's called Can't Hurt Me. Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I believe that's the name of it.
Oh.
It's a great book. It's a great book. Yeah, but he you know, I wish there were more of those kind of people out there just around, you know, where you could be like, hey man, I'm gonna run 4 miles every 4 hours for 24 hours. and somebody was like, who's like, oh man, that's badass. Let's go do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that's very fucking uncommon. And you know, one thing I mentioned earlier, I don't think you heard this part, is that what I take from him or from his book is that that's okay. It's okay to be that uncommon person. That's okay. There's nothing that don't make you crazy or weird. You know, one thing he says in this book is, "I'm not crazy. I'm just not like you. You know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
different." And he's not doing it in a way like, "I'm different. Look at me, hooray!" You know, he's just
Right.
making a statement. But really, really great books. And I'm telling you, I'm not the kind of person to get inspired by jack shit. I'll see some inspiring shit. I'm like, okay, what's this bullshit about? But he's on another level. He is on another level. Yeah, but that's David Goggins in a nutshell for me. I don't
Cool.
want to fucking. I'm off his dick now.
I thought you just said I want to fuck him. I'm like, all right. I
Yep.
mean,
You're
No,
pregnant.
God, no.
you know, open it up.
That's
Whatever you
not
need.
what the fuck I said.
Whatever
You
you
are
need to say.
pregnant.
Whoa.
Whatever you need to say. We are
Foul
here
on the
for
play.
you.
9 months have passed.
No, he's a great guy though. That's
Yeah, he
the
sound like a
kind
little
of
schoolgirl bitch.
who
You.
He
you
does.
who you who motherfucker. Schoolgirl bitch. Fuck you. Hey, you were on his dick 15 minutes ago, man.
No,
Oh,
we tag team him together.
they are
Oh
having a
shit.
sexy night over there. See?
Oh man. But no, he's you know, it's not very common I come across people that I'm like, man, you know, you are performing on a level that I did not think was possible. And he backs it up. So, you know, I think it's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting story he's got in this book.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I shall check it out.
All
Okay,
right. And
is
I strongly recommend the audio book over the physical book because his audio book is also a podcast. So not only is he reading the book in the audio book, but he's going into more detail on specific parts of the book about, you know, oh yeah, in this chapter, this also happened, or XYZ, or you know, I want to explain more about this situation. This is what went down, or these are some extra things that were going on, and it's pretty amazing story. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a fucking movie at some point. At some point, somebody's gonna fucking offer to make his shit a movie. I think that's already happened. Excuse me. Oh man.
what's going on with you, Darius? Nothing. Are you gone?
That motherfucker
I
sleep.
think his mic is muted.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because to not hear the snoring.
Could be.
Oh man. But yeah. It's
No, it's because I didn't want you guys to hear the pissing.
Oh, we're okay with that, or are we not? I don't know.
Oh, you spoke way too soon. Okay.
My bad.
I don't feel like editing piss out of the goddamn podcast.
Can you
Okay.
even do that?
I mean, yes, bro. I just edited out a
Nah,
nigga
man.
not being able to talk for the
Let me
longest.
tell you how you do it. This is what you do, bro. All you do is right before the pen sound comes in, you go, I'm gonna go. You edit it. You put a little gap in, and you go. In that gap, you put a sound clip of you going. I'm gonna go pour some tea, y'all.
Right?
And then
I'm gonna pour some tea, y'all. That's gonna be a new code phrase.
Honestly, my biggest concern is that we're not even recording because I was looking at this shit and according to the goddamn Discord, my other fucking account is still connected and I don't know which account is getting the goddamn fucking recording of this shit.
It's mine. I'm the one who did it.
Okay, so immediately when this shit is over, just send that shit to the goddamn main hub.
The waves?
Yeah, the waves.
Oh, do you want me to post the other waves I have in there too?
Yeah, go ahead and do that. We need to get to the top of all the shit we've recorded so we can post it, and just go ahead and put it on the goddamn cast because there's a lot of good material that we've already done, and I think we should post that shit.
All right, that's the goal.
Yeah,
I got
Oh
I got 11 gigs of it though.
yeah.
we gotta well when you switch to MP3, it definitely gets rid of like all of that shit.
Oh yeah,
But
it
That's
does.
why I asked if you wanted the waves.
I mean, I do, because bro, we need to post this shit. In the future, this will be growth for a goddamn kid, and even if it's just one of them is the goddamn number that we need for the future.
Number 69? What? I'm confused. One of them is a
I
number
mean,
in the future.
sure.
I mean, I wasn't trying to make this about reproduction. 69s are like
Hey,
not
Yeah,
hey,
there's no reproduction.
Trust me,
69,
there's
no,
no
no.
reproduction with 69.
right?
Yeah, bro. This
Know
is
that.
recreation, okay?
Bon appetit, dinner for two.
I
there
ain't
you
having
go.
fun here.
Yes, you
I
are. You trying to learn new tongue tricks and shit.
what is he? Is he trying to learn new tongue tricks?
You tell me.
No, we'll
He
skip by
doesn't.
that.
Hey man, it's supposed to be an educational program here.
It's not educational. It's society, right? I forgot.
Yeah,
Culture and society.
Well, that it
but
could
that's
be
still
educational for
educational.
people in the future when they want to know why shit is so fucked up.
It's because we out here eating booty.
Ebola.
That could be part of the problem. Yes, yes, indeed. Ain't that crazy? That there's a phase in America where everybody was just talking about like all the songs was like, you better eat the booty like groceries. Like what the fuck? Like,
You acting like they stopped.
wait, they haven't?
No, that's the new low. That's the new floor.
I'm
Yo,
like,
I
what
eat
the
Doja
fuck is
Cat
gonna
booty like
happen
every
after
day.
that? Like, what's the next thing? Like, I
I
mean,
don't.
if they're eating booty, what's next? Like licking armpits? Like, I don't know, man.
Shush,
You.
shush, shush. I need
I
this to
don't
go
know.
to
I've seen some
record.
Japanese shit. It makes me
No, no,
wonder.
I
I
need this
just.
to go to record. I
I
need to eat
just.
Doja Cat booty every day.
I just. I just saw a meme that says, "You think I'm mad that you're with my ex, but you're sucking on a dick that was in my butthole." You know.
Oh man. Oh, that is fucking funny.
That's how I like it.
In your butthole? Well, hey,
Oh
you do you,
wow.
buddy.
It's up for interpretation.
Whatever makes people feel good, they can believe that.
Hey, whatever
Yeah.
floats your boat, or whatever plugs the hole in it.
You.
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Right.
Oh man, yeah, but oh, I don't know. American culture. I wonder how our culture looks to outsider or people who are outside of American culture.
They think we're stupid as fuck.
I think that is the case. Because, I mean, honestly, as an American, some of the shit that goes on, like, for one, the obvious elephant in the room when you want to talk about American culture and stupidity is look at the fucking president we got. Like, what the fuck?
It's
How the
like, what's
fuck
the
did that
elephant?
happen?
Right.
Like, come on now. I didn't heard a motherfucker. I didn't heard an old lady. I heard an old lady say on the news, and of course the news is all fake nowadays. Fucking, I guess Trump was on to some shit there. Yeah, I mean, this old lady was like, if Jesus came back, and I think I want to say this was an old lady who like whatever insurance she was on, whatever like little healthcare plan she had, Trump canceled it or Trump got it canceled, and so she was gonna run out of whatever shit that she had, I think. And she was like, they were like, I think she said some shit to the effect of like, if Jesus came back and he was like against Trump, she'd be like, "Okay, Jesus, I'm gonna abandon you. I'm still for Trump." And I was like, "Whoa!" Like, damn, lady, like, holy shit. I hope I get a wife as loyal as you. Like, goddamn. Like Jesus came back and
Newsflash:
be
you
like,
will never get
"I'm
a
sorry,
wife
honey.
as loyal as
I
that.
got commitments here." God damn.
The new
That's
world
some
is so
fucking true loyalty.
convoluted. You will never get a wife as loyal as that.
Like, damn, man. She gonna drink the Kool-Aid with you. Shit. Like, that's crazy. Speaking of Kool-Aid, no, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna
Now,
take it
now
to
you
that.
gotta go there. Now you gotta go there.
No, no, I'm always the one. I'm always the one bringing up the macabre shit. But like the
Okay.
macabre shit is something that I learned from. The macabre shit is the shit that people are
What is
afraid to
macabre?
talk about a lot of the time.
Because all I
Things
hear
that
is corn on the cob.
I
macabre.
wanted to ask the other night if you thought that people who are in cannibalistic tribes would tell you that people of different races taste different.
Wait, you
And
faded out first. Wait a second.
I want to know that too. Does the
Wait a
dark meat
sec.
really have a
Did you
preference
say?
over the white meat?
well, right, like, yeah. Does
Oh my
your
god.
thigh taste the same as my thigh, the same as an Asian person's thigh, the same as a Latino person's thigh? Like, or do they have preferences? Like, I'm
I ain't
starting
gonna
to
lie.
Oh,
I wonder how white thigh tastes.
Don't be
you
gross.
said
You're
that
not.
kind of semi creepy.
Yeah, I just thought I was thinking that the other night, and if you didn't want to be like creepy or macabre, I would jump in for you and take that. So you're
Please
welcome.
do it for the better of mankind.
Oh my god. Yeah, just I don't know. I learned something from those macabre things. It teaches me something about life. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely for fucking sure.
I don't know what a macabre is.
Oh, macabre is just
Dark.
it's maybe I might be mispronouncing it as well.
You are.
But
No, you're fine.
okay, just it's something like that's horrifying, that's dark and grisly,
Yes,
but
dark.
it's normally dealing with death or gore or something, something gross, something gruesome.
Oh, this is a general term.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a general term.
Spell it for me.
MACABRE.
MACABRE.
Looks like macabre.
Thank you. I now know where to find it.
Jane.
Disturbing and horrifying because of involvement with or depiction of death and injury. That sounds like some really whack and lame shit. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah, I mean that's all it is. I was just saying that I do learn something from those gruesome things. Like when I see all those videos of animals getting eaten,
Dude.
while they're still alive, and I did not know that frogs could scream. Like, whoa! I saw that and I was like, damn! Oh my god! Like,
Why are
and
people
it's
just killing frogs?
no, it's not people. It's other animals.
Oh, okay,
But
that
it's
makes it
like,
better.
yeah, I'm not looking at people torturing animals.
Okay, because I'm like,
that.
you're a serial killer now.
No, it's just I'm looking at shit that like article may or some may pop up where see, I don't even want to get in this shit right now. I really
Yeah.
Do it. You gotta
yeah.
do it. You gotta do it. We're talking about it.
I like didn't we just talk what was that yesterday that we were talking about macabre shit?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't
Yeah, I'm
here.
like
I
I've
wasn't
had
here,
it.
and I'm here to like make you talk about the shit in full
Yeah, he
detail.
missed it.
No, it ain't no missing. It's
I'll
called. We're gonna
just
do it
I'll
right
just
now.
say this to not go into much detail that it is I've seen shit that has made me realize how damaged your body can be and how much pain and suffering you can still be in and be alive is absurd
Well, all you have to
and
do is
on a level that you would not be able to guess
if you look at the
had you not
Holocaust, you
seen
can
it.
see that, like the people that were alive in the death camps and the horrible things that happened to them and how they looked like walking skeletons. It's like, how are you still here? That's amazing. Yeah.
I mean,
David Goggins would have surpassed them motherfuckers.
oh my god.
That's right. I said it.
Also,
You heard it here
like
first.
things like that in his. Oh my bad. Let me
Wow.
let you finish what you're saying.
No, I was just saying that needs to be said here first. David Goggins surpassed the motherfuckers in the Holocaust because he lived.
Oh my
No, no,
God.
I am not.
I'm
No,
saying it.
No comment. I don't know.
Holocaust
right?
motherfuckers is weak compared to
No
David Goggins.
comment.
Just saying it.
No comment.
This nigga
Canceled.
kidneys went
Yeah,
out and he got
canceled. Hashtag canceled.
Right?
When they cancel the podcast,
nah,
it's gonna be because of this
Damn.
this
nah,
episode.
y'all pussy. That's what that is.
I don't even know the man, and yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
they'll
would say
just
that.
they're just gonna cancel you. They're gonna be like, oh, the
You right?
other
I'm liquid
podcast members.
tangent.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I like how you just damn pin it on the other podcast.
Mhm.
I'm liquid tangents. I
Yeah,
said
it's
it
me.
again.
I'm Donald Trump, and I'm saying that.
I'm the real liquid tangents.
Oh man, yeah. It's just I don't know, like shit like that in history, like shit like the Holocaust makes me realize, the alternative to fighting is much worse than fighting. You know, I gotta
There's
start
also
phrasing
not
it
Wait,
like
fighting.
that.
what is
There's
that? What does that mean?
The alternative to fighting, which is not fighting, is
Ha!
is is
Communication.
often worse than just fighting
Yeah, but
because
what
if
if
you
How?
had
what if
fought,
we don't do either? Let's
imagine,
not fight and
huh?
not torture people in horrible
But
camps, right?
that's the thing though. This is the world, and people do fucked up shit. It's not a matter of I wish they didn't do that because what we got is what we got, and currently that is something that goes on in the world. We don't experience a lot of that in America, but in other places in the world, it's horrible shit going down. I mean, to see something like a fucking 3-year-old and ISIS who that's a baby. That is a baby. That baby don't know shit about shit. But to see that somebody made a baby cut a grown man's head off, that seeing shit like that makes you realize how fucking lucky you are to be in this country. Despite its flaws, shit could be
Yes.
a fuck ton worse. You know, there's a lot of bad shit going on in America, but that shit ain't going on in America. Yeah, so
That we know
that.
of.
And to answer your question, Vic, what I said about the alternative to fighting is much worse than fighting. Uh, there's just so much of people being in a situation where their options are fight or essentially die, and a lot of fight or I won't call it cowardice because if you're in that situation, I mean, who's to say what the fuck you do? There's some things that you don't know what the fuck you'll do in that situation until you're in that situation. And I'm not going to sit here and call it cowardice or look down on it. But, there's situations where people's choices seem to be either you can fight and die right now or you can die by the hands of whoever's about to kill you. And it looks like to me that fighting is always the best fucking answer because
Why do you say that?
see, and that's where I don't want to start getting macabre and start talking about all this other shit.
Because fighting's way better. Just fighting it out, and somebody dies and somebody doesn't. It's better than
It's
torture and starvation and evil medical
yeah,
experiments and yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I rather if if by some strange happening, people start getting put on trains and in prison or something, I know that it's better to fight then before you get on that train and fight for your life and possibly die than it is to get on that train and go to God knows where the fuck
I
everybody's
agree.
sending you.
I agree with
You
that to
know,
the fullest, man.
and I might not have had that mindset had I not seen those things, and it
Holocaust.
has expanded my mind in a way that, and I'm not looking at it like getting joy out of it. I'm looking at it, and a lot of times I'm like, fuck, like I'm fucking ready to fucking throw up. Like, oh, this is my day's fucking over, you know but it brings me knowledge and it gives me a little bit more perspective. And I think, like I said, I think people should see that shit because it's real life. It's not TV. It's not TV violence. I see TV violence now and I'm like, this shit is ridiculous. This shit is a caricature. It's nothing like real life violence. You know, they say our generation is desensitized. We ain't fucking desensitized. We are not fucking desensitized. We just seen a bunch of fake shit. But the real shit, when you know that that person in that video is actually dying and they're actually suffering, that's very different from seeing some shit in the theater or on Netflix. It's not even remotely comparable.
Mhm.
Yeah, like so people talking when people say that shit about hey video games are desensitizing the youth, and I could go hey you're full of shit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Is because it's not even remotely the same.
Yeah, I've wondered how much damage we've done over time. Uh, People raising their kids and uh, calling them basically, and what that does to the generations or just the individual children when they grow up, as they grow up. Because a lot of people, I mean, you're right, a lot of people don't appreciate their place in this country and don't
Yeah.
appreciate the progress that has been made and the fact that a lot of people in this country are good people, even though we don't always see eye to eye on certain opinions.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like the worst things we tend to argue about uh, is usually some dumb social shit,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Very fucking true.
And people all over the world have real problems.
Yeah.
That's why I have to quit fucking around because I just started reminding myself that, uh, even though I started out in this country in a at the bottom, basically,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's still uh, a much better leg up than some if I'd been born in some other countries. I
Yeah.
never had to walk miles for dirty water that I'd have to go and boil and some shit like that, or had to
Live in a one-room mud hut with 6 people or
yeah, that, or build something as a kid to catch my own food or starve basically, or
Mm-hmm.
been a child soldier or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Any of those things could have actually been my fucking life, and
Yep.
I'm very lucky to be where I am because I'm pretty well off.
Yeah. Yep. Man, it's just
It's just these
so.
niggas keep raising the rent.
rent too damn high.
Yeah, sick of this shit.
Oh shit. True that. True
Yeah.
that. Man. Ah, but uh just the world is a strange thing. It's a strange thing. There's so much beauty in it, especially like in the natural world. Like, despite all the violence and shit like that, despite wars going on and people getting blown up and killed, and it's kind of really ironic because sometimes it's in the most fucking beautiful places ever. Like there are some mountains in Afghanistan. There are some places in Afghanistan that look so fucking beautiful, man. But to imagine that there's a war being fought out there, you know, it's crazy. It's like, damn, we got this beautiful thing. There's so much fucking beauty in this world. Just and I'm talking about just in the landscape itself, just in nature and the fucking sky with the stars we can no longer see, which uh, is like a pro and a con, or not a pro and a con, but like there's a good reason we can't see them, and that's because we got lights everywhere, and we got lights everywhere. It makes it really a lot harder for the bear to come and fucking tear us limb from limb, or the wolves to fucking sneak in and fucking eat our babies or some shit.
Dingo ate
But
my
at the
baby.
same time,
Dingo ate my
huh?
baby.
Yeah, Dingo ate my baby. We got this. We got
At the
this.
same time, you lose your connection to
Mm-hmm.
nature and the universe, like your
Yeah,
place in it.
yeah, like we got this weird connection with it, where it's like it's dangerous, but it's so fucking beautiful. And you remove a little bit of the danger, and you also sometimes remove a little bit of the beauty.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just a strange relationship we have. You guys think that'll ever? You guys think that'll ever change?
Um, I doubt it. People are way too far up their ass and way too far up society's ass,
Yeah,
and now they're taking it global basically. So
yeah, that is true. Elon Musk mentioned something in a Joe Rogan, the latest Joe Rogan podcast, the one where he didn't smoke a cigar. Yeah, he mentioned something that was interesting. He was like, he said he kind of see why they're he kind of sympathizes a little with the anti-globalists. He kind of understands it a bit because you know some of the something to the effect of like brain virus and not a computer virus, but like look at the uh, look at the SJW movement and how there are some elements, and some people can argue all, some people could argue none of it, some people could argue some of it, and I say definitely some of it is fucking crazy. Like the one we saw today, or where it was like these these people are like scaring their babies with water. They should be picked up by CPS kind of deal. Some of that kind of shit. It's like a brain virus, and that mindset can spread, and it could spread, with a global planet where everybody has access to each other's information. Everybody can communicate with everybody else. It's easier to do, some shit
Mm.
like flat Earth. That's like a brain
Yeah.
virus, basically. It's taking those who are susceptible to that foolery, that deception, and it's manipulating them, or it's like they've gotten infected with the stupidity virus, because that's something that's obviously demonstratable or demonstrable, however, whatever word it is. But
yeah,
it's
that's what I was
it's
telling Kay earlier. And
yeah,
there's a social aspect to it too. I think people don't want to lose certain people or certain groups, and it makes them do certain shit to keep it. And I wonder if they're uh, I wonder if people are conscious of it when it happens.
yeah, yeah. I wonder about that, and I wonder. Oh, oh well, I was going to say, and I wonder how far that virus extends, because you could argue a lot of things are that brain virus. You could argue some aspects of religion are that brain virus. You
Uh-huh.
could argue some
Yeah.
aspects of politics.
I'm glad you brought
So
that up because it helps remind me that this is not something new. Technology just helped it just like it helped everything else, good and bad.
yeah, yeah, definitely. It's like a boost
Hmm.
to everything.
An exponential boost.
Makes me wonder though, with this like Neuralink thing that will, I think, in that podcast Elon Musk is saying it's going to be out like in somebody's heads, and like in 5 years people will be able to put that in their brains. So it's probably, well, I'm kind of paraphrasing, and it's obviously said in a much more complex way than that. But let's say 10 years, 10 years, man, and it
I
makes
don't
me think,
know.
what
I'm
kind of
very skeptical of that claim
oh
because
the
yeah, I'm just very aware of how much we don't know. Well, I can't say very aware. I'm I'm pretty aware of on some level of how much we don't know,
mhm,
and there's still so many things about our own bodies that we don't know, and I highly doubt that the brain is going to be that all the secrets of the brain are going to be cracked in a time frame like that.
Yeah, I get you because when I first heard it, I was like, man, there's no fucking way that this shit is gonna be in people's heads
Yeah,
in like
they don't even know how to
fucking 50
cure.
years, you know?
They don't even know how to cure Alzheimer's and shit like that,
Yeah, they're
or
actually, oh,
many of our mental illnesses and stuff that plague our people. I just don't see that kind of thing happening anytime soon.
yeah, I get you. I mean, I think if I were to like, because what Neuralink is and how complex this stuff is, I don't want to misrepresent his claims. You know, I'm just kind of paraphrasing, but when I read more about or when I listen to him speak about, you know, and I listen to the way that he is speaking, it sounds like this shit is going to be much more limited than I think most of us think it will be, uh, in terms of and also like that's one of the things he's working on, the Alzheimer's thing, and they're basically going to give it to people with those brain disorders first, with all kinds of disorders, motor cortex disorders, and all that, and they're going to give it to them first, and they're
What is it?
going to
What are they giving to them? Did I miss something?
The Neuralink brain implant.
Oh, were you talking
Yeah.
about this earlier and I knew nothing about it?
I don't. No, we've just been talking about it for a
Elon
while.
Musk was talking about plans to basically have a brain implant to um, uh, have this connection between our brains and technology, basically.
Oh, my bad. It's okay. Keep going. I'm high. Big money.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I listened to his plan, and he's not promising anything. Well, actually, I take that back. No, because he did say some shit like 20 years we're not going to even be fucking talking. Like,
Oh,
but at the same time, like, look at cell phones, man. I remember my mom had a cell phone in like the early 2000s, and we were like, whoa, holy shit, that's so fucking cool. You can call people in the car,
yeah.
and look at how fucking this shit. I have one of the most powerful tools in the world in my fucking pocket. Just because of the access to the internet and a camera.
Be me
Look at
for
these
a second.
protests, huh?
Be me for a second. Like, we had one phone in the house when I was a kid, and it was
Mm-hmm.
attached to the wall. You had to fucking sit there and talk on it. And on the
Mm-hmm.
Jetsons cartoon, they had like video talk and stuff, and you're like, oh man, that's gonna be cool someday. And now it's today. We're doing
Yeah,
space shit.
it's real. That's nuts to me.
Yeah.
That is real. That's a real thing. And to and it happened so it happened over time, but it happened so quickly
Yes.
at the
Pretty
same
fast.
time. Do you any of you guys remember using your touching the first touch screen phone you ever used?
Yes.
Because
And
Mm,
I
yeah.
was it. How was that experience for y'all?
I almost didn't like it. Like, I needed a button to touch, which is why my iPhone now has when you touch the little button, it makes a little vibration so you feel, because you don't have to actually press it in, it's just your thumb over it, but it bzzz, so you feel like you're pushing a button.
I know what you're talking about. The ones with the I think haptic feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, how about you? You, Eisen.
Uh, my first touchscreen. Actually, I was thinking of a different phone. I don't actually remember my first touchscreen. It's taking me this long to try to piece it together.
Well, not the first one that you owned, but the first one you ever interacted with. You know. Well, if you don't remember the first one you own, you probably don't. You damn sure don't remember that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll say for me, when I first touched it, I had it had been out for like maybe a few months or whatever, and people were talking about it on the news and stuff. But to actually touch the fucking screen, I I I was like, this can't be real. Like, this is some Star Trek shit. Like, this shit ain't supposed to be out for another 50 years.
Mhm.
it was it was so bizarre to, like, for me at least. But of course, I was never like a cell phone kind of person. I was a kid when that came out. I didn't have no fucking cell phone.
And people can
So
fucking video call each other and see each other in real time. That's
yeah,
insanity.
like I was like, whoa, this is like live TV but on your
Right.
phone, and it was just,
I
I don't
think
know, for
I
me.
think I remember it now. Mine was uh one of those iPod touches or something that I briefly had, and it was cool to look at
Hmm.
and interact with, but I just found it inefficient for my use basically, and so
Yeah,
it was more of a hassle to me. And so I think when it came out to be on the phones and all that stuff, you know, like I had already used it and I understood uh, the cool factor, but I wasn't wowed by it because it just felt like there was, yeah, my productivity would go down, and it's just
mm,
something cool for me to interact with. Like even now, our phones are cool for us to interact with, but uh, it can't match what I can do with a
yeah,
desktop.
hmm,
It can't match what I can do with a desktop. Laptop can't match what I do with a desktop. Like, like I guess I can't quite put it into words, but it's just m- s- it's somewhat of a drag if it was going to be my main device.
like it was more like a gimmick.
Well, not a gimmick, just like a bottleneck, basically.
Mm, I get you. Yeah, I agree. When I first used one, I was like, the screen did impress me because I'd only seen touchscreens on movies,
Mm.
and not just any movie. It'd be like, this is a top secret security force you're not even allowed to know about. They got mini nukes in their pistols. Like, it'd be some ridiculous shit. It'd be a Star Trek movie where they got touchscreens. It'd be a spy movie, and then, to see people walking around touching their screens, it was just so, like, what the fuck? This isn't that's science fiction in your hand. I thought we were going to keep going with the buttons, and just the phones were going to get better, and that shit was going to go in a very different direction, but
Yeah,
And
I
I'd
wish
like
I had. You go.
what?
I said you go.
Oh, I'd just like to shout out to the fuck you to all the teachers who said you have to learn it the long way because you're never going to have a calculator in your pocket all the time. Fuck you.
I remember that shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to be carrying around a calculator all the time, really, bitch? Because here's one in my hand right now.
Yeah, and for me, uh, I try to look at it like it is a calculator, like it's another tool in my belt, but not the
Mhm.
one that is my primary tool. And I think it's different from a lot of people.
I
But
get
Since
you. I
the
don't
pri-
see it as
the
my
primary tool is
primary either.
Google.
and there's always like it seems like no matter how far that mobile technology goes, the uh it seems like people try to come together to uh basically use up all that power, and then the phones just end up feeling like there's never enough memory or never enough storage or different stuff like that.
I
And
get you. Not
like
enough
if it was a
battery life.
yeah, that too, but even like you pull up an app or something like that, or a web page, and eh, on the desktop, I expect it to all that stuff to load much faster. Well, at least on mine, I expect it to load much faster, not have a lot of issues with pausing and the the low time of the content that has to be fetched and all that too from the network. And it's like if all that stuff was out of the way and like you could interact with it almost instantly, I probably wouldn't feel as bad about it. Probably would the cool factor would be up more for me, but it just feels like it doesn't feel like the most optimal experience.
I
And a
get
lot
you.
of the times I'm using that stuff to learn and to gain more knowledge and to gain more skills and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely got its bottlenecks, but I mean, it's at the same time, it still is a revolutionary change
Oh yeah, it
because
definitely is. And
yeah,
I
it's
mean, even my dad came out and he was like, I had to, yeah, I've been learning to always keep the phone on me. Like that's never how I felt about it. And actually, I was thinking that he might be in a better place to resist that, coming from a place where you couldn't have that kind of capability all the
yeah.
time, and like you just get adopted into it because everybody else is doing it.
hmm And I mean, if you're not doing it, you're going to be left behind in terms
Hmm.
of certain things, not everything, but you know,
I
I
mean, it's
if I
true. It's
I
true.
mean,
And I say that from experience too.
yeah, yeah, because I went a while without a cell phone or without ever trying to being on my phone and all that, but yeah, you definitely miss out on some things.
Yeah,
And
even I've noticed that uh, just in texting, uh, there are people who text in different ways. Like there are people who will make long, thought out paragraphs
hmm
and share them with each other, and there are people who um, uh, they have quick, like one-liners, basically
yeah,
Who
between
is
each other.
who this?
I think game.
I am not playing a game. I'm just looking at people who are trying to flirt with my man. I'm a jealous ass bitch.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Any female that comments anything on your status that is not related to you has to be checked out because there might be some whore trying to get in your pants.
Oh, where they at?
This just don't you worry about
I'm just messing with you.
Oh, that's funny.
it.
Like, yeah, because I mean, you're all on my page. I don't even know anything about it. My phone's in the bedroom.
Like if I find out they're married or a lesbian, it's cool. But some of these people are single. It's like, don't be doing a winky emoji on my man's page. What are you
Oh
doing?
shit, I got the juice.
Oh shit.
It's like, yeah, talking about MySpace. The fuck are you talking about? Let's 1996 called it once. Nerd that.
God damn, I forgot about MySpace.
Right? You could have music in the background, shit.
When that it was so cool that you could customize your page though. That's what I liked about it.
Right? But
Like
Facebook, the behemoth, drove them out of business.
I
but
mean, we did
also
it. We did it.
MySpace, yeah, we did it. Cause MySpace was not upgrading their shit. Like
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that
yeah, they
too.
didn't
It was always pretty slow.
yeah, like
It was
it
fine to me. Listen,
didn't
I come
evolve.
from the days of dial-up internet with the whoosh.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
forgot. I
me
forgot.
too.
I do like that perspective. I mean, we like I say all the time. We transition through all that stuff too. I think it's impossible not to, with as fast as technology is moving, not to uh, know some part of it. But yeah, you're right. I do like that perspective because they didn't have like any of that. Then all of a sudden they did, and
Yeah.
you know,
And when
just
we
the fact
got
that
it,
you could connect to someone across the world and only exchange text between you two was like revolutionary.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like, you mean we could just talk to someone in Bangladesh and we could just talk to people all over the world and all the things we're going to learn. And now it's just like dick pics and arguing.
Yeah.
It's porn.
And a bunch of fucking cat memes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy though? That's what we did with the internet. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like,
Yep.
it's just funny shit and social media, people talking about really nothing,
Hmm.
eh,
Or
but
arguing about some bullshit. And it's like
arguing
we could
about
be
it.
learning from people all over the world and
Yeah.
broadening our horizons. And we're mostly on there like, I hate you. You're stupid. Your opinion sucks.
Yeah, I'm
But
trying to give
also,
that life
is that
up.
a American thing or is that everywhere?
That's a good question. It could be an American thing because we do tend to
I think it's mostly
fuck
American
stuff
thing.
up.
I would think it is too. Cause I don't.
People in the other countries, they think we're weird as fuck
I think so too.
and stupid and stupid. I
Oh
can't
yeah,
forget
and
that.
stupid. I can't forget that one either. Yeah, for
Oh,
fucking sure.
you know what sounds good, y'all? Cornbread. Sorry, I'm looking at Pinterest at the same.
No, she's hitting that Hillary and that Joe Biden. The
No, I don't even want to hear Hillary Joe Biden from you when I'm the one that showed up to your family Thanksgiving, the only one who made motherfucking cornbread from scratch that morning. So
right?
Are
you
you
just turn
Like
serious?
around.
That's
my
fucking
I am 100%
hilarious.
serious.
yo, she got this blue cornmeal, right? She got this
Hmm.
Yeah,
blue cornmeal, like it's made from blue corn and all that. And I know
locally ground.
I know my experience, and I know what I know, and I know that certain things about the diversity of food and all that has like blew my fucking mind. So I was like, you know what? Let me take this. Let's definitely make this stuff and take it to my family so they can see that the world is very interesting and more broad than we know. And
Yeah.
they were like weirded out by it. They didn't want to have anything to do
I,
with it.
they're like, oh man, we don't have cornbread. I go, I make cornbread. And we're all sort of gathered around and they go, ooh, and they start leaning forward. And I pull back the foil. I go, and it's blue. And they're like, ooh, and they back up like, what the fuck did this lady
Right. And
Yeah.
the I'm used to my family making the Jif cornbread,
Hmm.
and like no bullshit to me, it tasted like that or a little bit better or something like that. Like not even like one of those like it's good for gluten free type of things or something like that. No,
I didn't
it was legitimately good.
I didn't even tell them I used the gluten-free flour because I thought they're already freaking out at blue if they find out it's gluten.
Yeah, but it was good. Like
It's
it's good
delicious.
for good, and that's rare. It's very rare to have something like that. And
Girl, you trying to poison a brother with this gluten-free bread.
That's what they all thought. This bitch is bringing blue food. Yeah.
but like it was really good, and I mean I'm sad that they missed out, but
Well, some of them
Did they
ate
not
it.
try it or
Some of them
some
did,
well,
and some were
people
like,
didn't
my
try it?
aunt tried it. You know, my auntie Liz, she tried it, and because she knows about stuff like that, and actually she said before to me that yeah, I try to tell them about all this stuff. They don't want to hear it or something like that. And it's funny that her saying that I didn't really like take it in like what that meant, but but I learned that there is a psychology to that. When someone doesn't want to hear a certain truth, they will like mentally block it out and just not hear it. And that happens like in person and uh in the digital realm too. Like that's why a lot of people are fighting because people actively just don't hear it. And I don't know if they like consciously do it, but they actively do it. And I know that because I
Oh,
did the same thing when it came Obama and criticisms about him. It's like I remember distinctly hearing those criticisms before I actually took them in, but I didn't internalize them until like sometime either late in his presidency or close to the end or after it or something like that. But it's like I just didn't even want to fucking hear that shit, and I didn't.
I get you. I cognitive dissonance is what I think it's
mm,
called.
Oh,
That's I believe that's like when you basically like what you're saying when you I think it's like I'd want to explain it correctly. I mean, I should have just looked it up. I think it's something to the because people who listen can look it up, but I believe it's something to the effect of you hearing a view from that conflicts with a a view that is very important to you or that you believe to be true, and that that contrasting feeling between is what I believe right is this shit that seems like it might possibly be true,
Hmm.
correct. Actually, I should just fucking look
Is
it up
that
because
it?
I know.
Because what this one says occurs when a person holds to a more contradictory beliefs,
Yeah,
ideas, or values. I think it
It's
might.
hard to do that, and
Huh?
so they have to, and it's hard to do that, to
yeah,
hold
that's what
two
I'm saying.
contradictory beliefs, and so it
No, no, no.
creates
I'm not. But I'm not talking about holding the beliefs. I'm talking about.
Yes, I was right.
I'm
not
talking
adhering.
about. Yeah, I'm talking about just avoiding the intake of information.
Yeah,
Oh
but
no, no,
then
I wasn't saying that. I was just saying
Oh,
that that kind of stress, that kind of discomfort.
oh
I
no,
felt
no.
that a
That's
lot
yeah.
in
That's
yeah.
not what I'm talking about. Like I remember actively, not consciously, uh, just not taking in the information that was presented to me. I remember reading it,
Mm,
and I remember the arguments. I remember hearing the arguments multiple times, but I didn't internalize them in any way.
I think I understand what you're saying now. Yeah, I thought you were saying like you would hear them and it'd be like, oh, this is icky. This hurt my brain kind of thing. Because that's what I was talking about. That's what happened to me before, but that makes sense. Yeah, because I
Well,
mean,
that's how we started talking about the idea of paradigms and stuff, because I think that kind of stuff might shatter your worldview. Basically, like you can't have those two opposing views and
yeah,
feel the way you feel about the world or an idea or a person or something like that.
yeah. I definitely know that feeling. That sucks.
It's interesting. It's
It is
interesting. Fuck.
it is interesting as fuck that conflicting ideals in your mind can cause you, some form of discomfort or suffering. Because it's not a arrow being fired at you. It's not a snake biting you. It's not a boar trying to gore you. It's not something that hurts you physically. It's all mental. But it's just funny that, that we've evolved to have that feature, you know? That
Mhm.
that blows my mind. That's crazy because you always hear about evolution and you always hear about the physical aspect of it, the things growing their limbs this way, muscle increasing, this blood flow to the brain increasing, or brain gets larger. But I wonder what caused us to have that feature, because that's, I mean, to from what I think, or that sounds like, it sounds like that's purely mental. But it could be something like in the environment that caused that. Like, if you believe there's a lion in that fucking tree that'll jump down and get you, and at the same time you believe that you're safe if you go under that tree. Maybe that is where that came from. It could be some threat in the environment caused that, but it's still
All
such an
those
intriguing
evolutionary
idea.
traits are interesting to think about, especially yeah, especially biological and psychological.
Yeah, it's just, man, there's so much that we just don't know about the world and existence in general, and it's just, man, I wonder what those answers are,
Mhm.
and I wonder how we'll get them on top of that.
With a desktop.
Nah, bro, I'm telling you, the computer is going to be in your brain in our lifetime.
Mm-mm. The computer is going to be in a mobile device like the Raspberry Pi. It'll be like a small little thing, and then you just connect to a monitor or something. It might be the phone eventually one day, but it'll. I think it'll still be some kind of device. I don't think. I don't think the brain thing's coming soon.
Yeah, I really do. I think it's coming soon, or sooner than we think. because looking at the way how some of this technology just fucking snuck up on us, it makes me realize that nothing is out of the equation. Now, as far as how the I think the unpredictable thing is how that technology is going to, well, I shouldn't say unpredictable, but the because a lot of the times the shit that actually happens, you'll find it in some book or something, from 20 years ago, but it was some motherfucker who just, he wrote his book, said he thought things were going to be this way, and he explained why, and then the guy is dead, and nobody knows this for the most part. And then you find out he was right after the fact.
Well,
But
I think that, well, I don't know how much of this stuff is out of the blue, because I think I read something before that even something like machine learning has been around for quite a while.
yeah, like 60 years or something like that. Like since the 60s, I believe. And
Yeah.
even then, they were like, "Oh man, this is going to change, revolutionize things."
Mhm.
But the issue then was they did not have the compute power, and they also did not have the data. And now we have the compute power, and we have the data.
And they were too big. Like getting them smaller and smaller and smaller has made a mess.
Yeah, the compute power for the size was not
Yeah.
of a very good ratio
But
compared
when
to
you,
what we have now.
yeah, but when you talk about the idea of the interfacing with the computer, that stuff is not just relying on technology. You also have to learn a lot about uh,
Biology.
biology and even psychology for some before stuff like that really takes off. Because even if people want to interface with something like that, you're talking about the thing that controls your entire body, basically. And how do you know what effects you would have by interfacing with a machine, even if you could? Like, we don't know enough
Oh, I give
for,
you a perfect example of that. Uh,
what?
you know what we got a lot of in space? Space
Nope.
debris. Space debris. You know this whole problem with the climate. You know about the issue with us polluting the oceans and killing these coral reefs.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm trying to think of another one. Another one that's really pending. You know the issue of us having nuclear. Thousands and well, probably hundreds of thousands of nuclear missiles, or tens of thousands of incredibly powerful nuclear missiles.
Yeah, what's the point?
The point is that we just do this shit and we deal with the consequences later.
Dumb.
So it's not we're not gonna it's not a matter of I mean, I wish it was. I wish people did think about how things are going to affect each
That's
other
true.
before the fact and change things. But if you look at our track record, we just do shit.
That's true.
We just do shit and we deal with it later. And I think that's what's going to happen here. There's going to be some shit where we go, oh man, okay, we didn't see this problem happening. We didn't see the problem of like some kind of terrorist getting one of these and being so incredibly smart he could just do whatever he wanted in XYZ poor country. We didn't think about it. There's going to be so many bad things that pop up with this, but we're still going to
Mm.
move forward because
Well,
that's
I
that's what we
am
do,
going
you
to
know.
wait a long time before I go near one of those hoes.
We chose.
Anything that's supposed to connect with my brain directly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? But you know what's crazy? What I think the issue is gonna be is when they start going, "Are you one of us?" You got your brain thing in, man. Let's check.
Uh-huh.
I
You
mean,
know?
let me go ahead and hit this EMP, dog.
It's okay. We got EMP shield, and we so smart. We made the shit out of toilet paper and
Yeah,
toothpaste.
you shield your whole body from this EMP. I want to see that shit.
Oh shit. Oh,
Like that thing
random
has to connect with your flesh. You know?
random fact though. Random. Well, I think this is a fact.
And
I
if
could be
not, there's
wrong.
always bullets.
You can, if there's an EMP that goes off, I believe you can put, depending on the microwave you have, you would be able to, especially if it's an older model, I believe. I think it might even be in newer models too. You can apparently put your cell phone in the microwave and it'll shield it from the EMP. I think that's current microwaves too,
It might be
because of some.
the great something like that.
Yeah, I think it depends on the grade or some shit like that. But I
No,
read
I'm
that and I
talking
was
about
like,
the great because when the microwaves is creates radiation and all that. Like
oh,
we
not
probably
anymore. Those are the old ones I was talking about. Nowadays, microwaves don't use
no,
radiation.
they still create radiation, but they have those little things over the window, those little like that honeycomb stretcher or whatever it is. It's supposed to keep the radiation from leaking past or something like that. I don't understand exactly how it works, but that's why those things are there, and that's why they're uh, virtually safe. I don't know how safe that is, but it's
See,
relatively safe. But it still makes radiation and all that.
because what I was told is, oh, let me see. This is electromagnetic radiation. Is that the same kind of radiation that? Because what I was told is that what it does is it vibrates the water, basically the water particles and whatever you have, which is why if you have French fries or you have some other or pizza or something, you put a cup of water in there in the microwave, and you microwave whatever food you have, it'll stop it from getting soggy because it's just vibrating the water particle and it's heating it up that way. But I'm not sure if that's the same type of radiation. Like I know there's multiple types of radiation. I can't remember which is the like Chernobyl type of radiation or the radiation that they had in microwaves in like the 50s, and like is that the same type of, man, this shit is so complicated, dude.
Hmm.
There's so much to fucking unpack. Like
We got our first microwave in the 70s.
oh, 70s? Damn.
Yeah, I mean, people probably maybe they had them in the late 60s, but I'm thinking like regular people, we might have been a little poor, but like regular people were getting them in the 70s.
Oh, non-ionizing radiation. Okay. So that's what it is. I think that's a different type of radiation. Like maybe the one in the 70s might have had the one that, man, I wish I knew this stuff like
Our,
Yeah,
our parents told
cuz
us
I
not to lean your head
obviously
against the
I don't know
microwave.
for sure.
I watched stuff in there because we were going to get a brain. We
Oh,
weren't supposed to lean our head on it. Weren't supposed to stand too close.
hmm.
Did I just freak everybody out?
no.
No, I'm curious about like I'm really curious about this now. I'm like, wait a sec, should I be microwaving all this shit? I be microwaving. I'm like, well, I know that it's not nearly as harmful as it used to be,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the reasons why people get stomach cancer a lot less.
Oh,
It's not that the medicine has got better. It's just that the microwaves are no longer fucking giving you stomach
right?
cancer. Which is funny when they say, stomach cancer has gone down by, 40% since the 70s. Well, no shit, you're not eating fucking irradiated
Right.
food no more. But, I wish shit
It
like that was
says
more
it
clear.
says
Like, who the fuck?
microwaves they don't have enough energy to knock electrons out of atoms.
Mm-hmm.
Microwaves are therefore not known to damage DNA inside cells, according to the American Cancer Society.
Yeah, but I'm like, I know that's for the ones now, but for the old ones, I was trying to see, like, is that the same thing that the old ones had, or is there a different type of radiation, or But I'm guessing maybe it's the same type of radiation, and like you said, that radiation back in the day was stronger.
Yeah, it says the FDA requires microwaves to be designed in a certain way to prevent these types of radiation leaks. Blah blah. Requires that the microwave ovens have two interlock systems that halt the production of microwaves the moment the door is open, and a monitoring system that stops the device from operating if one of the interlock systems fail. As a result, there is little cause for concern about excess microwaves leaking out from your oven unless there is damage to the door, hinge, latch, or seal. But yeah, I believe that I read that the little grate over the thing is some kind of mechanism that helps keep it contained.
Hmm. See, that's so neat. There's so much interesting shit around us
Mm-hmm.
that's just so fucking complex. And
Yeah, and yeah, we make this stuff on the basis that it doesn't cause any noticeable damage, which is probably the best we can ask for. But that doesn't mean that's nothing.
yeah, it could be some type of damage that we're not aware of
Mm-hmm.
or have not, do not have the capability to
Yeah.
measure yet.
For all you know, the microwave is slowly making everybody just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Or the cell phone, or fucking
Yeah.
anything.
And as a person who doesn't use my cell phone a fuck ton when I'm out in public, man, I gotta say, just it's so crazy to walk in a room like at a bar or something, or at whatever place I walk into, like a restaurant or something, and like just almost everybody in the room is just staring at their phone. Like like you walk into a room, nobody's making eye contact with each other.
They're all just zombies to the phone.
Yeah, and as somebody who doesn't use my phone a fuck ton, I really hate using my phone for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
and I really hate communicating on it. I
Same.
really hate communicating on my phone because I think I really don't call anybody, and not because I just don't want to talk to people. It's such a shitty way of communicating. I love being
Yeah.
able to look at a person and when I'm talking to them and I'm like seeing their reaction and like on over a phone, I don't know what the fuck their reaction is.
Yeah.
I don't.
Or what
It's
their tone is,
yeah,
unless you
like
excessively use emojis or detailed language, and a lot of people don't use that stuff
yeah,
because they
and
don't have time for it. They're just typing away.
yeah, just typing. You don't know the tone. And I remember back like when all the internet was relatively new and people were talking about sending emails and shit and how easy it was to miscommunicate
Mm-hmm.
through text, like because you couldn't pick up the tone.
Mm-hmm.
And now our main way of communicating is texting. Like look at Facebook, that's just text. Most people aren't. You don't know what that person's tone is.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, and that's our main way of communicating now. Because you
Hmm.
walk in a physical place and everybody's looking at their goddamn phones. I feel like an old man sometimes. I walk in the place and I'm like,
Yeah.
or I'm talking to a friend. I'm like, why you pull out your goddamn phone? Weren't we just talking?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, man?
For me, I like texting when I'm absolutely bored, and I like the phone, thinking of it as a emergency kind of deal. Like if something happens, I gotta call some people
Mm-hmm.
uh immediately, or I gotta send some text immediately, or I have to send some detailed information, and I don't feel like spelling it out over the phone, trying to make sure that they understand exactly what I'm saying, and you know give an exact spelling and all that stuff. I don't like to do that stuff through the phone or in person or any of that shit. I like sending text for certain shit like that, or a non-trivial conversation. Like, did you take the trash out? Oh yeah. I forgot to do that. I'm gonna go do that. Thanks for reminding me. You know, hey, sorry, we're not coming. So and so got sick. We're gonna chill in the house for now. I'll send a text. We don't need to talk about it. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, and it's just shit. Shit is so bizarre. Shit is so weird. I kind of miss it though. I do miss as an introvert, man. Like I feel like this sucks the most for introverts because I used to really treasure, the random ass conversations you would just have with people just walking by, just popping up, and just somebody start talking to you because most
I
of the
still
time
do
when you,
that.
I mean,
They
that's a
do
good
that
thing.
around
That's
here.
awesome. See, I like that because most of the time it seems like people are just on their phone, and that they're like, if you see somebody at a bus station or something, they're at their phone now. When back in I hate to say back in the day, I ain't that old. Not that long ago, uh, people would be at the bus station and they'd be like, you just be kind of like just looking around and have shit to do, like fucking twiddling your thumbs or fucking flipping a quarter or some shit, because yeah, there was nothing to look at. Maybe you got a newspaper, but I mean, for the most part, people were just standing around, not doing jack shit.
I honestly didn't like that in my experience because people were uh, weird or hostile or uh, stupid or manipulative or any number of things, and usually they weren't good or
I get
begging me for money or
I get you. I will, but like everything you say is exactly what I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of like standing at that bus station.
Yeah, like
Because
those are most of my interactions.
yeah,
There's rarely. I don't think there was actually any time where some random person that I hadn't seen before struck up a conversation and then it went well.
Here, here you have.
I
Mm,
I I
Nothing's gone bad.
yeah, nothing's gone wrong here, and yeah, I mean, I guess that's yeah, that's nice. I do enjoy that,
I get you. I mean, I
but
just
sometimes I can take it or leave it.
yeah, yeah. I can definitely see that, especially in some places. Some places definitely more than others. But I don't know. I got to the point where I had come across so many fucking crazy people that I just accepted the fact that like there's crazy people and they're gonna talk to you.
Yes.
And
See, I accepted
the
the fact
best thing.
that I accepted a different fact, which was that I guess everybody's just crazy or something because none of this shit's making any fucking sense.
I
I think
was
that's where I took it.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it and I said, "Hey, it's a fuck ton of crazy people out there, and
Yeah,
I'm going to bump into them."
yeah.
And what I can do, because most of the time I was like, just fuck, I want to get out of this situation. What I learned to do, or what I eventually accepted, is the fact that I can sit through that, and I can listen to the fucking craziness, and turn it into a story somewhere else. And I got a
Oh,
lot of stories where I mean, sometimes, dude, a crazy person talks to you and you just look at them and you just listen, and and in a couple of seconds they're just fucking shocked that you just haven't walked away, or that you're listening. I had a guy one time when I was working this job in downtown Dallas, and I uh, I just got off, and so I'm walking out the door. There's this guy, and uh, he's standing by the bus stop, and he's standing at my bus stop, and he's talking to himself. He's muttering some shit, and he had previously walked into the building I worked in, and he started talking to some people, saying some whatever crazy shit in there, and he walked out. And I saw him, and I was like, okay, Yeah, I'm gonna try to sit over here by my other bus station that's nearby. And I was walking over there, and he saw me. He started talking to me, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, I guess I'm about to have a fucking story." And so I walk over to the other bus stop, and he walks over there with me because it's like basically right across the street. And and he sits down, and he just looks at me. He sits on the bench right next to me. He sits on the bench right next to me while I'm waiting for the bus. He looks at me in my eye, and he just he's like, "Can I tell you something?" I'm like,
Oh my
"Sure, man."
god.
And he just goes, he's looking at me, and he's going, he's like whispering, but he's not saying shit. And he said something about like, and the devil is out here, and you gotta watch out for him. You
Making
gotta
eye
avoid him or some shit
contact
like that.
was your
And
first mistake. You don't
no,
make eye
it wasn't.
contact with the crazies, and you
This
don't make eye contact with the
Yeah.
people
this
selling shit at the kiosk
no,
in the
you
middle of the
got
mall.
to.
No, no,
Why
no,
not?
no,
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 no eye
No,
no,
contact.
I
no.
do it. I make contact with him
Yep,
because
that's the problem right
the
there.
majority, like I said, it's just a story. It's just another story. And this guy he started talking and he said that shit, and I was like, yeah, man,
Oh no.
yeah, man, like, wow, yeah, okay, I get you. And he just looked at me, and he was shocked, and he got up and he walked the fuck away. And he went to he left. He was just in fucking shock that I
Right.
sat there and I listened to him and I
Well, I
agreed
guess
with
my
him.
job here is
He
done.
he just got up and he fucking walked away. He looked like he was more shocked than I felt at
So
all.
you must have never had people try to fuck with you, huh?
I've definitely had people try to fuck with me for sure,
Oh,
but I've I've come across this shit so often that I realize that, man, this shit can't even be avoided, and
oh,
it's just gonna happen.
I started
And
avoiding it,
I
which hurt me down the line when I needed to connect with different people.
mhm.
But it was one of those things that I learned in order to just avoid the issue entirely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was interesting to talk to these people who, nobody talks to, everybody rejects them. As long as they're not getting too close to me, I always set my spatial bounds, But, I'll listen. And I'll just listen to what they have to say. And I tell you, man, a lot of those people are just so fucking shocked that somebody is standing there listening to them. And it's like, fuck, man. That's pretty sad on a level that they have whatever issue they have going on in their brain, and they just get thrown away, and they don't even get to talk to anybody. So the problem definitely, I would think, gets worse. But it's those little stories, man. It's those little crazy moments where
Yeah,
you're sitting.
you're right.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes it can get annoying because I've had people who would sit next to the bus next to me, sit on the bus next to me every single fucking day. Like the whole bus could be empty and they come and sit next to me. I had to you I gotta still take care of myself. I'm not gonna deal with some bullshit every single day. So I gotta kind of push those people away without getting aggressive because I don't want to hurt some person with some kind of whatever kind of mental illness or whatever. And not everybody can do what I do or do that.
And it's
You
funny
know.
your story. I wonder how much of mental illness is people who've had too much alone time
Yeah.
and all that. Like that, I wonder. I mean, I guess that's it, honestly. But your story made me think about that. Like these
Yeah.
these people that no one talks to, and then like, what if they get worse because no one talks to
Yeah. It's just, man, it's it's just so crazy, just all the shit going on around us that when we just take the time to investigate a little bit, or just to interact with it a little bit, you find something. You often find something you didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have never expected like these people, who seem to be out of their fucking minds to react to just somebody listening to them or not shoving them away or pushing them away the way they
Mm-hmm.
do. And on some level, yeah, it's definitely fucking sad. But at the same time, I'm not friends with any of those people. I'm not, it was just like a thing that I looked at and I was like, I'm gonna accept it. This is just what happens. You come across these characters, especially in fucking downtown Dallas. Like, man, and some of the shit is definitely dangerous. I don't want to glorify that and make it sound like it's some awesome thing. I've had hobos walk by me with a fucking knives out that had they wanted to, could have tried to stab me or some shit, or somebody who's that crazy dude sitting on that bus stop next to me. He could have been like on bath salts and tried to bite my face off or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I take some of those little chances because I feel like I'm in a public place. I'm a I'm pretty capable of defending myself against one crazy person. So
Yeah, SANe is
sometimes
the
I'm like,
same way. He said he used to tell me about uh how crazy he would attract crazy people basically, and they would end up having random conversations with him and stuff.
yeah,
And yeah, at the time he was telling me that, we were living totally different lives. I wasn't attracting crazy people like that.
yeah, I've definitely attracted some crazy people before. I mean, I don't know what it is, man. It's funny because my mom said she always had the same issue.
I used to have the same issue, and I figured out when you go to a place and you hear a person like they're talking loudly on the phone or talking loudly to their kid, like they really want you to hear the shit they're saying. And if they catch your eye, they'll look at you and be like, right, and then start a conversation. You get your magazine and you start looking at that shit and you don't look up. It doesn't matter what they say. Doesn't matter if they say they're having sex with their brother or they they just beat up their 4-year-old. Like you don't look up because they
Yeah,
see my face and it's like, oh, this person's nice face. Let's talk to them for an hour about crazy shit. I am no longer down with it. So no eye
I get
contact.
I would find that
you.
conversation interesting. I
Oh my
just don't want the crazy you might be a potential threat to my life crazy.
hmm Yeah,
no eye contact. Telling you.
yeah. I get you. I mean, yeah, I was not worried about the physical aspect of it. But yeah, you're definitely right about that because you never know. You
Hmm.
never know, because, but at the same time, I feel like you never know who could be crazy. So you might as well just embrace the randomness and the chaos of it all. Because, man, I still can't believe Selena got killed by not Selena Gomez. Selena got killed by her fucking accountant. What the hell? What kind of crazy shit is that? That's just that. It's like it's crazy people everywhere, man. And the crazy people, everybody always says, I would have never expected that from him, you know.
Yeah.
So you never know. So I accepted that I'm gonna come across crazy people, and sometimes I don't want to deal with it. Sometimes I'm like, just move, get out of my way. I got shit I'm trying to do. I'm trying to go home and go to sleep. But sometimes I just embrace the fact that you're gonna come across those crazy characters.
Hmm. Hey,
Yeah,
question. Did we lose Darius? Did he die?
Yeah, he's probably out.
yeah, he's
He's not
probably
in
asleep.
the thing anymore. We need to
Yeah.
probably head off too. It's
Oh
6
yeah.
a.m.
Yeah, goddamn. Oh shit. Well, that
and
was
I got some
another
and I
good
got
one.
some unfinished business.
Uh oh. Oh shit. Well, I'll let y'all do what y'all do. I should probably take mine to
Yeah,
bed too.
yeah, we can play Arc next time, especially since y'all done downloaded the uh DLC already.
Yeah, yeah. We'll definitely have to get on all that shit. Yeah, but shit. Tomorrow sounds like the day.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Shit. All right. Well, what's this, a squad cast?
Sure.
Or green? I don't know what it fits under.
Yeah, I have
I
to send it to Darius.
I guess it's a squad cast. See,
He said 3 more people. I mean, the the overlap between Green Room and Squadcast has not really been fleshed out.
yeah, that's what I've been thinking. I'm kind of like this. Does there? Can I? Should I just be doing turn my thing into the squad cast? And I was like, I kind of want it to be its own thing, but I don't know.